We're now going to do a test recording of Listen to illustrate the process from start to finish. To begin with, we click on the Start Here icon at the top left hand corner of the screen. When we double click on it, you'll see the Start Recording option appears, and a single left click on that will automatically open the Cool Edit software, and you'll see the title music will begin to play. Before we go any further, we need to stop playback of the title music. So if you move the mouse pointer towards the stop button, towards the lower left corner of the Cool Edit window, and left click on it, playback will stop. Before we go any further, we need to save what we've done up to this point by clicking on the File button at the top left hand corner, and from the list of available options we choose the Save As option. When we do that, the following window opens, and if we press the Control and at the same time press the V key, you can see the file name has changed to the file number, in this case 1000 followed by the date. Again, we need to go to where it shows the recent folders, and if we click on the downward pointing arrow, and from the list of available folders we choose the Listen Archive and left click on it. Having done that, we confirm again that we are saving it as an MP3 file as shown here, and we left click once on the Save button. The file is saved and we're now ready to continue. The waveform that we can see on the screen is the introductory title music, and this is referred to as track 1. The next track that we will be recording will be the first of the readers. Before we can start recording, we need to add a cue marker at the very start of track 1, and to do this we can see the start marker is positioned at the left hand side of the screen. To ensure that it is positioned at the far left hand side of the screen, click once on the previous cue button. At this point, if we press the F8 key on the keyboard, you'll notice that Q1 appears at the top of the screen. If we now left click on the next cue button in the transport controls, the start marker has jumped to the end of the waveform, in this case the end of track 1. Again, if we press the F8 button on the keyboard, we've added an additional cue point. Although it won't show Q2, it will appear as we start to do recordings. At this point we are now ready to record the first of the readers. The producer will hold up a card with the number 2 to indicate that we're ready to start recording track 2, and the recordist will click the record button and provide a visual cue to the first reader. When he clicks on the record button, the first reader will introduce the track that they are about to read from as track 2, and then proceed to read out their news items. At a suitable point, the producer will hold up a card with the next track number, which in this case would be track 3, and at that point the reading will pass to the next reader. When the next reader is about to commence, the recordist will press the F8 key on the keyboard, which will insert a new cue point, as you will see on the screen now. At this point, the next reader will start by announcing track 3, and then will proceed to read their news items. Again, at a suitable point, the producer will hold up the next card number, which will be card number 4 in this instance, and the recordist will then press the F8 key again to insert the next cue marker, which will become cue number 4, and the next reader will then take over, introducing the track by saying track 4 and then reading out their news items. This process will continue until all the readers have read their items, Ideally, the recording should last approximately 60 minutes and should consist of 11 tracks, which will also include, as the first track, the title music. Although it may not necessarily occur that each track runs for 5 minutes, some tracks may run slightly longer, some tracks may run slightly shorter. As long as by the time the recording is complete, the overall time length is somewhere around the 60-minute mark, that should be fine. Once the recording is complete, the recordist will click on the stop button and recording will end.